But, you know, it would be really nice to have access to it. With someone that you truly do like and love, and who loves you back.
Yeah.
That would be the ideal type of accessibility to sex, personally speaking.
There's gonna be a lot of questions after people watch this, you know, like, what is this fantasy these two have?
Welcome to the Sweet Talking Podcast. Hi, I'm your host, Neph, and I'm here with my very good friend, Khaleasi.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good, how are you?
I'm pretty good. You know, we had a bit of a few technical difficulties before we got started tonight, but hey, you know, things happen, right?
I feel like that happens a lot with us.
I know, because we're both streamers, so like there's always like that fear of like the internet like fucking up or some shit like that, right? Well, I've already sworn. All right, well, all right. Forget that, you know, pretend I didn't say it, but yeah, you know. But anyway,
I mean,
yeah.
I've always said that technical difficulties follow me everywhere. So even if I raid somebody, I send my technical difficulties to them.
Oh wow, that's just who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure that
I like to share my problems.
You are so sweet. You're much too kind. But I'm sure
that's what my mom taught me, to share.
Of course, sharing is caring, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there's a lot more to you than simply, you know, the amalgamation of you know, your technical difficulties, but how about you kind of like tell people about who you are? I mean, like, well, I'll throw a couple of questions at you, like, so like, who are you? What got you into VRChat? What do you do for fun? And like, just kind of like introduce yourself to people who may not know who you are.
Okay. Well, I'm Khaleasi, obviously. I don't know. I'm a cat girl. I'm a VTuber.
Yes.
On Twitch. And what got me into VRChat, I won't go into details, but I got into it to hang out with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
So. But yeah, and then I just continued with it. I started out very shy, so I was mute a lot of the times when I started, and I didn't talk to many people like at all. So, but I've gotten better at that now. So.
Yeah, your profile message still says that you're mostly mute. Do you think that's still true today?
If I'm in a public world with a bunch of people I don't know, yes.
Yeah, I think that's pretty normal. Like, when you're like hanging out in a space where you don't know who's actually going to be there, and you know, like, people get really weird when it comes to like the sound of a girl's voice. People just get really
yes.
weird all of a sudden.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can definitely feel you there. I was the complete opposite. You took me to my first public world. I'm like, yo, what's up? How's it going?
I mean, that's how we met a couple of our really good friends now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just, you know, being open and willing to have those conversations, and, you know, just being open to the possibilities of, like, you know, having a positive experience. And, you know, that's kind of why, like, that's why I do like VRChat in a lot of ways, that I actually do like enjoy, like, just having that, like, having like authentic communication with people is like the thing that I really like the most, for sure. Because I feel like we don't get enough of that these days.
I guess I don't typically go out into public anyways. I'm pretty much a homebody for the most part, but now, but
Well, you and me both. I mean, like, I've made no secret about this. I only go out once a week to do my laundry. Once every 2 weeks, actually, to do my laundry. Beyond that, I'm only going outside to check the mail, take out my garbage, and get food. So, yeah, basically a homebody as well.
outside's a pretty scary place. To be honest, I'd rather be inside, especially where I live, because the sun actively tries to kill you.
Yeah.
Here, so.
Yeah. It can definitely be pretty wonky. People can be very, very, like, unpredictable. But hey, we're here. We're here in this very, very, very chill space where, not much can happen in this very, very lovely, chill world. So you said, yeah, so you said that you're a Twitch streamer, and obviously, you and I are good friends. Like, there's a lot that I already know about you, so I'm mainly going to be kind of just chatting with you in general about, like, the usual things, and kind of, like, maybe throwing a couple of other questions in there. But, like,
okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be, it'll mainly be ways for people to get to know you more so, and like for us to have a conversation about like what that means, and like maybe I'll find out things about you that I don't know, who knows. But I've known you for, how long have I known you for? It's been like, time is weird.
Hasn't it been like over a year now, right?
I feel like it's been at least over a year. Yeah, because like we met just by chance because we were both streaming
through Viper.
Oh right, okay. So yeah, it was through Viper. And what was it like did he like raid me or raided you or what was, I forget.
Wow, you're making me dig way back in my memory.
Yeah, I legitimately don't remember.
I don't know if it was that I raided him or if he raided you, or it was a raid. I know it was a raid. I just don't remember who the raid was going to.
And you happened to be in the raid, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like
he may have been raiding you or something, because him and I would stream about the same times. So it was kind of hard at times for us to raid each other. So it may have been you he was raiding.
Yeah. I mean, that would sound about right. Yeah. Because like, yeah, we basically have bonded over the fact that we're, we've both lived a long time. We'll put it that way. Yeah. So, cats can live a fairly lengthy life, and we've done so for quite some time already, but there's very, very few of us. It feels like.
Yes.
Especially
very, very few of us.
Yeah, especially in the streaming world. So yeah. So I guess why do you continue to stream? Like, how long have you been streaming for? And I guess what continues to motivate you to pursue streaming?
I don't know the exact amount of time I've been streaming. I know I made my account in 2012. I think I streamed a few times here and there between 2012 and 2017, and that is when I got my sub button.
In 2015?
In 2017. 17.
Okay. Gotcha.
Is when I got my sub button. So it's been like, 5 years with my sub button. And I do it because I enjoy... Okay, so I say that I'm shy, which is true. I'm shy. Like,
yeah.
If you got me in person or in, like I said, a world here that's public, I typically won't talk to people once I meet them, like for the first time. But in stream, for some reason, like, I don't get that anxiety or anything. Like, I can just talk to people. And I don't know what the difference is between streaming and, say, VRChat, but it's weird. I don't know. It's how my brain works. But with streaming, I'm comfortable. I can talk to people. The only thing I can think of is that maybe it's because that I can't hear them talking back to me. I just read it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's like that kind of there's kind of a wall there between you and everyone else. It's like you're here, you're on this side, and then you have chat on the other side. But then in VR, you're like, it's like it feels like real life, and your brain registers it as a real life interaction.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've been streaming since I guess they said like steady streaming since like 2017.
Okay, so you made your account in 2012, but you actually started in 2017.
Yeah, like consistently streaming in 2017. Because I streamed here and there in between, you know.
So what was the what was the motivating factor behind just starting in general?
Well, I was playing Star Wars: The Old Republic, and the only game I've ever enjoyed PvP in, and I wanted to show off my mad skills as an operative healer. And being stealthy in Hutball because they could go invisible and I could go stand on the opposite team's goal and then people could run up and throw me the ball and then I could just score and go invisible again. So I started streaming that first. And it was mainly just the people I played with, you know. Wasn't anything like, it was just more for fun, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, go ahead.
But I think the more people that came into the stream, not saying that I've ever had like over, you know, so many like 20 people in my stream. Usually it would be like, you know, 1 or 3 people. But the more I did it, it just became more fun, and so I continued.
Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty natural. I mean I think that's how most people would start streaming, mainly because it's fun. Like I think that's a pretty common reason, and I don't think any other reason is healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I've never been in it for the money because I know I'm probably never going to be as big as some of the big streamers out there. I don't want to say I don't have the personality, but I don't have like I don't know how to explain it. I'm not as outgoing as most big streamers are. I'm more reserved and kind of like quiet. So I don't think I would ever make it as like a big streamer.
So I guess maybe you're saying that you feel like you don't have a big personality?
Yeah. Probably.
Well, I mean, I think like you already have a pretty cozy group of people that, you know, really enjoy your company. Would you say, because like you weren't initially a VTuber, right?
Oh no, I started off on cam and then did not feel comfortable with cam, so I stopped using cam. And then I tried to cam again and I didn't like it. And then that's when I became a VTuber. And
like, I guess go ahead.
I was gonna say, because I like to be able to interact with stream and for them to see me interacting, you know, instead of just hearing me interact with them. Just so it's something visual for them versus just hearing me. It seemed more appealing, I guess. If I were to go to a stream where it was just somebody talking, sure, you know, I may enjoy it, but it's more fun to see that person like jump if they get scared, or you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's way
So,
more engaging that way when you can see the person. Because like a voice, like I think regardless of how nice a voice someone may have, it's that visual component that really allows people to connect, I believe. Yeah.
yeah.
So I guess how long did it take you between being on camera and realizing that maybe I should, I want to keep doing this, so maybe I should become a VTuber. So like I guess how long did it take you to kind of figure that out and come to that conclusion?
So 2017, I did camp for a little bit, and then probably for about a year, I did cam, and then I went to no cam again. And then I tried cam again in 2019, but then when I got sick in 2019, I didn't stream for like months. But I think when I came back is when I finally realized, I was like, I need to have a visual,
Component?
appearance on stream. Yeah. So I got really lucky because I came across another streamer, a partnered streamer actually, who posted something on Twitter about pretty much making their VTube avatar for free, or like no more than $80. And I started talking to her, and she helped me with everything on making my 3D model. Because before I thought it was going to cost me thousands, because you look into making or getting a avatar, and they're expensive.
Absolutely, yeah.
But make my own, sure, I bought a few things here and there, accessories, clothing, hair, but it was nowhere near what it would have cost me if I would have had somebody do it for me. So yeah, it was really easy, and once I got the hang of everything, then I just went from there.
Yeah, no, that's it. That sounds really, really nice. I mean, like, I know there are a lot of people who, are interested in VTubing, and, it's gotten so popular because of the pandemic. I think it's really exploded. And I've seen a lot of people on Twitter who started in 2020, and now they're like massive. And it's really, really interesting and fascinating. The entire ecosphere of YouTubers is very, very fascinating. And as someone who was I guess I can consider myself a VTuber, but like I'm limited to this form at the moment. So there's like a barrier between like what is a VTuber and what isn't a VTuber, or who isn't, or whatever. So like I'm always just like, well, I'm very, very interested in it, and obviously, I've been looking into it myself because, people, as a streamer myself, still relatively new at it, I think it's good to kind of like explore those ideas and try to, maybe one day go that route, Yeah. So like,
I mean,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, a VTuber, like even a PNG tuber, is considered a VTuber. A lot of people will argue that they're not, but they are, because you're still using a character to represent yourself. It doesn't have to be like a 3D model or a 2D model that actually moves. Like PNG tubers are considered VTubers, but I would even consider this like VRChat if that's what you primarily stream, being a VTube, because you are using a 3D avatar to represent who you are.
Right, and I guess that is, would you say that's like the most important thing based off of like how the community kind of, interacts and regards different people like PNG tubers and all that? So it's, yeah. But
I don't know why people have such a big problem accepting PNG as a VTuber. But I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, you have a character that is representing who you are. It is visually on the screen. So it's you. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't make you any less than someone that uses a 3D or 2D model.
Yeah, I'm obviously inclined to agree, since we you and I have built up a recent associate, a recent friend of ours, Philo, who's a pink tuber himself. Didn't always start off that way, but he's learning the ropes and everything, and I think it's really, really encouraging to have someone like you who is very, very experienced to kind of guide this very young puppy on his journey.
Yeah.
So I guess, what would be one thing that you would suggest to someone who is interested in VTubing, but they're unsure about it and are unsure how to get started? Like, what would be like the number one thing that you would tell someone as like a thing to as a way to encourage them, I guess?
I guess, well, don't be intimidated by like the cost, because that's what I was intimidated by when I first started, and then, like I said, I met that other streamer who showed me how to make my own VTube model and stuff. But just do it. Do whatever you want. If you want to be a PNG tuber, be a PNG tuber. Don't let people, tell you you're not a VTuber, not good enough, But I don't know. I just don't be afraid to do it. Just do it.
Yeah. I think that's pretty solid advice. I think that's the same thing with streaming. Like, you should just, if you feel that you have what it takes to get started, or that you're just curious to see how it'll go, just do it. Like, regardless of just if you have the desire to do it, you should absolutely just give it a try and see how you feel about it.
Yeah. That's one thing that I hear a lot from some people, especially when they're just starting out or whatever, is like with streaming especially, is that like, oh, I'm just not good enough, nobody comes in. And I was like, do you know how long I sat there with like 1 to sometimes 0 viewers? But I kept doing it because I was having fun, and you learn along the way that, things that you should and shouldn't do while you're streaming. Like, you should be talking. And for a long time, I would just sit there and play my game and focus because I had nobody in stream. But then once I started like actually interacting with my my ghost audience, as I used to call it, because
I mean, that's basically what it is.
Yeah, and just, talking about what I was thinking and what I was doing, and people would start coming in and start talking to me. And I mean, don't get discouraged. Just do it, have fun, be yourself, and, you'll get the jerks that come in occasionally and talk all kinds of crap and stuff, but that's what band is for.
Right. Don't be afraid to use the ban button.
Nope. I love that ban button. I've had to use it quite a bit when I was actually using cam.
Wow. So was it because of those people that you decided not to use cam anymore, or was it just yourself?
It's myself for the most part. Like, I'm very insecure in my visual appearance. Although I know I'm not like hideous, I'm a decent looking person, I'm not ugly, but I think it more revolved around like I'd gained weight and I was uncomfortable in my own skin, and I just didn't want to broadcast that on the internet.
Yeah, which totally makes sense. I think the thing that VTubing I think has really helped with, and I think that we talked about this around the time we first got into doing VTubing, about the idea of just having the ability to stream, but just having a means of being who you are, but in a different way. You can continue to put yourself out there on stream, but you get to create a character that represents you. And I think that for a lot of people, that's a huge confidence booster for a lot of people. I think a lot of people go into VTubing to build confidence, I think, a lot of the time, because they don't really have it, like, in themselves or even in their appearance and things like that. Like what would you think about that?
Oh yeah, I think I agree with that 100%. That, and people can throw things at me and beat me up, and can't do that with a cam, right?
I mean, you technically could, but it wouldn't be as satisfying, I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
And even as a VTuber, I feel those items hitting me. I feel it right here, you know.
I mean, you made them available for people to use, so.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I have fun with it. That's all that matters.
Exactly. I think that interactive component is very, very important when it comes to drawing new people in, and, you know, just, you know, having fun with the whole experience, like just being good natured about it. Like, I think if you don't put things in your, like, your channel points or whatever to, like, amuse the audience, then, like, you just kind of end up, like, bland. So you gotta have some fun things in there occasionally.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, let's buy, like, you know, the hydrate where it drops water bottles on my head, and, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, everybody likes to beat me up versus show me love, which there is a show me love redeem in there, but people are like, no, let's beat the crap out of Khal. That's the way I show my love, is with violence.
You know, typical boy behavior. You know, that's how they show that they like a girl. It's just like they beat them up.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, but hey, you know, if nothing else, I'm the one using the show you love option the most, I would say. So.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I don't think I maybe have beaten you up once, maybe.
Because I told you to.
Yeah.
I told you to. I said, I was like, just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Beat me up. Funny enough, though, is like, I didn't put on my about me information like that. I didn't feel like I put that I didn't feel comfortable on cam, but I said, as a too long didn't read on my information, I said, I just didn't want to wear a bra while streaming, so I became a VTuber.
And I'm sure there are many, many ladies who 100% agree with that. It's like, fuck doing makeup, forget that, you know, I don't have to worry about my hair. I'm just gonna turn on the VTuber model and just go.
Yeah. I don't wear makeup anyways, but still having to fix my hair and put a bra on and be uncomfortable, because those things are not comfortable. You know. True.
They are not. But hey, you know, sometimes you gotta wear them, you know. I mean, like what I got going on here, like, isn't really much of a bra. It's more of like a partial, like, negligee or something. Like, it's like a see-through camisole. It's like a lace camisole. Like, there's no bra action going on here. But I think people seem to like that. I don't know why, but, you know, people seem to be into it.
I mean, I just like to watch your ears jiggle, you know.
That never gets old. That never gets old. So speaking of, like, feeling like when people, like, throw things at you, you are someone who has phantom touch. Is that correct?
Yes.
How did you realize that? And I guess, what was your initial reaction to finding that out? And how do you understand the idea of having phantom touch?
it was funny because the first time I realized that I could feel anything is when someone came up and patted me on the head. And I immediately like jumped and like tried to grab whatever was on my head. Because it felt like something was up there. Like and then I started noticing like little things here and there, like if someone like would put their hand on my arm, I would feel the warmth of it. Or if someone was sitting directly behind me, my back would start to get hot. So like doing anything like this on me, I could feel like it's really hard to explain. It's kind of like a tingly like sensation, I guess. Almost kind of like when you get goosebumps and your hair stands up type feeling.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Totally.
It's like a static kind of feel, I guess. But yeah. No, I can feel if someone's sitting close to me. Like I can feel your arm sitting above I can feel the warmth from your arm on my hand.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So
yeah, that's...
I think mine is more temperature wise though. You know.
Which, like, so, like... Except for your head.
Oh, sorry. Except for my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like, Okay, so I'm thinking, like... I guess, like, is that something that you enjoy having, or is it something that you think is, like, kind of inconvenient at times?
So if I'm in a public world and there's a lot of people around, it's kind of inconvenient because you get people that come up and like stand on top of you or like really close to you, and it makes it uncomfortable, you know, because obviously they don't know that I can feel it.
Yeah.
You know, but like, for example, like when I went to the music thing that Fifi went to, there were a lot of people there and we were all kind of crowded together and stuff. That was uncomfortable for me just because of the music was loud and it was hot because people were standing next to me.
Like an actual part, like an actual rave. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Wow, it was that intense for you?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I would constantly like kind of move back and kind of go stand by myself because then I could like breathe, I guess. I didn't feel as warm away from people, but it's very awkward to like have someone come in and like stand on top of you pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, I definitely am just like, wow, that sounds super, super uncomfortable. And like the really funny thing is, like, I don't like, I have my phantom sense is almost non-existent, but occasionally when I don't think about it and I go to pat your head, my hand will get warm, which is it's when I don't think about it.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of the secret to it more so, is just not trying to force it, because like I wasn't expecting to feel anything when someone pat my head. You know, I wasn't even thinking about that. But as soon as they did it, it felt like somebody was like actually petting my head. You know, and the same thing with like somebody, say, sitting behind me or standing next to me. Like I'm not thinking about it, but all of a sudden I'll feel the sensation of them over here or over here or behind me. So it's something that I guess I don't really pay attention or think about it, and it just kind of happens. I think if you think about it, you try to force it, and then when you're trying to force it, then, you know, obviously it's not gonna be what you expected, I guess.
Yeah, I wish, like, I anyone who I talk to on the podcast who has phantom sense, I'm always very, very jealous, and I've told you this already, because, like, you know, like I'm still relatively, like, all things considered, like, I guess I could say that I'm not as new to VRChat now, I guess, at this point. Since I've used this since like April, and it's now September. So I guess I'm not, like, I can't say that I'm new to it anymore, but like the fact that I didn't experience it the moment I got into VR is so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Like,
Mine wasn't immediate either, though.
huh.
So,
Explain.
I mean, it's something that kind of developed. It was something that kind of developed, and I think maybe because when I first got in, it was like, okay, well, I'm here. You know, and in your mind, you're thinking this isn't real anyways. So, you know, but the more time you spend in here and the more real it becomes to you, I think is what kind of kicked it off for me. But I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, I just stopped thinking about it, and I wasn't, you know, expecting it. So when it did happen, it was like, holy shit, you know. Sorry. Like, somebody just touched my head and I felt it, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Wow. So yours didn't come immediately. When did you realize that you had it? I guess how long was it before you realized?
it was probably like a month or two at the most. But I was spending a whole lot of time, like several nights a week in VR.
Okay.
You know,
I've been told that too, actually. Like you have to spend like a lot of time in VR for it to like develop.
Yeah, like I was in here almost every night. There were like a few nights in between where I wouldn't come into VR, but I was in here almost every night.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I know that like a podcast episode is going to come out where I talk to Fresh about this, and like he suggested that I should just I need more time in VR, I just spend more time. And like I said, the week after I talked to him, I told him, oh well, like I'm taking off of work for like a week, so like I'll just go into VR like every day, like because I'm off from work or whatever. And then I didn't, because I was too busy doing other things. When I didn't really like have a proper vacation or anything. I was doing too many other things, so I just didn't end up going to VR like barely at all. So like, yeah, the idea of going in like every night, like, day after day after day, like I guess that's really what I would have to do. And there's no way around it.
I was in here for like 5, 6, 7 hours at a time every night. And that went on for months, you know.
Right. Yeah, like, so I guess let's talk about the idea of what is real. Because you said like once VR it felt more real to you, that's when you were able to kind of establish that you had phantom sense. Because you're like in VR very often. So like, to what degree do you perceive like I guess when did you realize that your time in VR felt the most real to you? Like, was it like an epiphany, or was it like just something that kind of just naturally happened and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm in VR now, this is actually real type of thing? Like at what point, like what I guess brought you to that point of like this perception of being in reality, or for it to be real enough that you could develop like an actual phantom sense?
I think it just came naturally because I was spending time with somebody that I couldn't actually physically spend time with. So I think just as the time went on, like this just became the reality of how I got to spend time with that person. And so then that made it more real because oh, I'm gonna go see, my friend tonight, and we're gonna hang out. So then, like, same thing, like when you make friends in real life, you're like, oh, we're gonna go hang out at the bar, or we're gonna go here, or whatever. It just became real because it was the only way that I could spend time with that person.
So it was the connection of you spending time with an individual who I guess how at the time you valued, and then it was just the time spent in VR along with the frequent human connection.
Yes.
And your brain
That's
conceptualizing it as, this is how I spend time with this person, and this is who they are here. That's interesting.
Yep. Because at first, when I first came in here, this was just a game.
Of course, yeah.
It was just another game that you play. But I think when you start developing connections and stuff, it just becomes a little more than that, little by little,
Yeah. Like when you go into VR, VRChat to like specifically spend time with people, and like the intention is to hang out with those particular people. I think that's like, I think that's really what does it. Like, it's the combination of many hours and a connection, a human connection, to whatever degree that may be. Because like people can build up human I'm having a hard time speaking tonight. People can build up human connections to people, but not ever really go any more than the surface. You can still like hang out with an individual, but I feel like there's still people who don't go past like the general like perception of like, this is who you are, we're spending time together, and who you are on the outside world doesn't matter type of thing. It never really goes beyond that. But even then, you can still develop a human connection with people while in VRChat, which contributes to the idea of like having, phantom sense. Yeah. That's interesting, because that's a new perspective that I didn't have before. Because to me, it was like, well, I just have to spend a lot of time in VRChat to get phantom sense. Because like I said before, my phantom sense is it's almost non-existent, because I'm far too logical. I can't break that. I come into VRChat in the hopes that one day I can break that barrier of just my brain thinking so logically and processing things so logically, like like right over there, there's like a ledge over there. And like my brain is like, that's a ledge over there, and I probably shouldn't jump off of that. It's like, it's weird, but I still perceive VRChat so logically, and I want to break that. But I will say, I will say one thing, because like I didn't think of what you said before until we just talked about it. But I did have an experience. I did have one experience in VRChat. It was actually very early on, like not even maybe like almost a month or so from when I first started. I spent time with a certain individual who I will not name, spent time with them in VR, and I was feeling very close to them, kind of thing. Like I'll go into VRChat and I would hang out with them very early on. And there was a point where my spending time with that individual and the time that I was spending in VRChat, and the combination of those hours in that short period of time it didn't give me phantom sense, unfortunately, but it actually shifted my perspective on what is real. And during that period of time, I felt like I forgot that I was in VR.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the holy grail. I would say, like, to forget that you're wearing a headset, to forget that you're in virtual reality, and to simply just be.
Yeah.
So, like, is your experience
And that's how a lot of my experience was when I was hanging out with that person. Like,
yeah.
I wasn't in VR anymore. I was there. You know, it was real.
Yeah. Which is like, that's so fascinating, really. I never thought of that. So like, I guess, is your experience in VRChat always that way now? Like, you log into VRChat and you're instantly like, this is real, and there's no mental gymnastics you have to do. It's just like, this is it. I'm not wearing a headset. This is it.
Yep. It just took time and spending time with that person and stuff.
So even without spending time with that person anymore, you still feel that you jump into VR and you're just here.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like Ready Player One, like in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen Ready Player One, so I know. Yeah. That whole idea of it, like, and that, God, I want that so bad. Like, I want that. Like, I want that immersive experience. Like, that's really what I'm truly after. So what could I let me see. So let me talk to you a little bit about, well, I kind of want to go back to your streaming, but I think we've maybe talked enough about that, but I did have one question. What has been your motivation in terms of, I guess lately you've been playing a lot of horror games on your stream. I guess what has caused that shift?
It creates funny moments, I guess, because I get so scared.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to like get more than one person in the game, right? So like the Phasmo and stuff like that, you can have up to 4 players. So it's easy to get people together and play together, you know, because a lot of the times I've been playing games that I play by myself. You know, so I wanted more interaction, I suppose, with people that I valued and considered really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
So those are just one of the easiest ones to get more than one person in a game, I guess.
Okay.
And it creates a lot of funny moments, like, you know.
Yeah, content. Gotta get the content. Yeah, I know.
I mean, I was playing Inside the Backrooms with Nikolai, Pancake, and Akio. And I had that clip where we were in the room together, like looking at something, and Akio hit the whistle button and whistled, and the dog come busting through the door right at his nuts. And we all took off running, screaming, laughing. You know, it was hilarious, you know, because now, as far as doing those in VR, like, no. Like, Phasmo is bad enough, but something like that, where something actually, like, comes after you and attacks you, I couldn't do, but...
Okay. Yeah. That would be way too much for me too, I think. Especially, like, I am scared by the weirdest shit. Like, I'm scared of, like...
I have a story for you.
Okay. Well, tell me the story.
No.
Oh.
I was gonna say you go ahead and go, but Pancake and I decided to try The Forest. Have you heard of that game?
No.
It's a survival game. and it has VR. And it's not zombies really. It's like cannibals that are like the enemy. And we were in there in VR, and because I can feel things, I had a cannibal jump on my back, and it scared the shit out of me, like to the point of where I like fell forward because I saw it behind me running towards me, and when I ran and then it jumped onto me, I could feel it.
Oh shit.
Jump on me. So I went forward. Luckily I wasn't right in front of my desk because I knew like we were going to be doing a lot of hand stuff, and I tend to punch my microphone or monitors, so I was further back in my room, but I went forward and I was like, nope, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's too real. So yeah, we never went back in.
Wow. Yeah, there's no way I'd be able to handle that. I'm almost certain I would freak out for sure. I mean, like, your reaction is even worse because of your phantom sense, so that's like, jeez, I can't imagine. But
yeah, it was pretty scary.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I get scared over I wouldn't say, I guess maybe it's not so dumb. Like, I get scared of like the void, like just the void. I'm like, if it's like just all black or all white, like I have no sense of like where I'm at, and that freaks my brain out.
Yeah.
And that, I guess that's also why like diving into water also freaks me out, especially if I don't know how to like maneuver in it. It just like, I'm not afraid of water, I'm just afraid of being like submerged type of thing. But what were you gonna say?
Makes sense. As like when you were falling, when we went into the SAO world.
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
Yeah. Like I like that actually, like the idea of like repetition, like what's really weird is that like audible, like when it comes to sound, like let's say if someone like repeats something that's funny and they repeat it and you repeat it and repeat it, and like it'll keep getting funnier type of thing. But like visually, when I am just like falling and it's like a loop of like you're constantly falling, and not only that, but like the world is like you can see like the ground above your head and you're just falling and falling again and again and again. That kind of repetition is just that just freaks me out. Freaks me out.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, and that, but like I guess what makes you scared? Like what things are you just like inherently afraid of?
I'm afraid of heights.
Really?
Yeah.
So you couldn't look over that ledge?
Like, no.
So like, no. Like, no, I'm not going to do that.
No. So there was like, I don't know if it was was like not a panic room, but it was some type of game that I played early on in here, where you had to walk on a very thin like bar to get across, and it was a very like long maze type thing, and if you fell, you just fell, and you just kept falling until you respawned. And so like I couldn't look down and watch where I was walking because I had to see I was really high up.
Right, yeah.
So I had to kind of like look ahead, watch the ground, and hope that when I turned, the corner that I was turning at the right time to not fall off the edge. That was terrifying. Because I can't look down and see, like, especially on like I don't like going over, even in real life, I don't like going over bridges where, like, walking over bridges that are really high or anything like that. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense.
Maybe that might be because I'm so short, you know, in real life. You know, I'm vertically challenged, so high things are scary.
Right, yeah, it makes them seem closer. I can totally understand that for sure. That is that's interesting because, like, it's very similar to me, in which like I'm fine with heights. It's only when I can see myself falling. That is that's a little too much. And that's why that one time when I was driving with the go-kart and I fell off, and I did like a flip. I drove backwards off the ledge, and I was like flipping backwards.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, and then I came back, and
I didn't realize you were flipping.
Yeah, and that's why I said, oh, I'm sweating, and I came back because like I had gone through that, and obviously I was laughing because like it's like the reality of falling backwards when you just drove off a fucking cliff into nothingness, and then coming back, and like, yeah, I'm not dead, so it's funny, but it's also really scary. So like it was just a mixture of like laughter and all that, like, oh wow, I'm still here, it's just, you know, just VR. Yeah. I mean, you'd think with like how much I reside in VR as a streamer now, you'd think I'd be okay with that sort of thing. Nope.
I'm still not okay with heights in VR.
Yeah, it's rough. It's definitely strange. So I want to talk to you about your opinions on love.
My opinions on love? Like what?
Yeah, like what? Exactly. So I have to figure that out. So, no, I'm not going to confess to you on the podcast. That's not something I'm going to do. But, you know, I don't even really have to do that. But
I know you love me already, so okay.
Exactly. So I guess to what degree would you believe that, you know, how can I ask this? To what degree would you see yourself as, I guess, how would you know that you are in love with somebody? How do you understand, like, that level of attraction to someone?
It's gonna sound like cliche and corny, but it's just that like butterfly feeling, I guess, like that you get like when you're around that person. You know, I never really thought of it because like when I'm in love, like I just know. You know, like you just know, you feel that connection with that person, and you know that that's the person you are supposed to be with, I guess.
So like, would you say it's something like an interaction with someone that is just like there's just something that's there and it can't make sense of it, but it's just very, very apparent that there's like would you call it desire? Would you call it a feeling? Well, I mean, I guess desire is feelings, but like when you say you just know, is it cognitive or is it like emotional?
I think with me, it's more emotional. I am, and I know we've talked about this before, but I'm an empath, so I feel things differently than a lot of people do, So I think it's just more, it's the feelings.
Yeah. Is it how someone makes you feel, or is it like how you feel about someone?
I think it's more so how someone makes me feel. So.
And so.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think, like, it's hard because, like you don't really think about it, like, really when it happens. Like, you're just like, I know.
I do.
Like,
I think about it. I absolutely think about it.
Well, you're a very logical person, though.
Yeah. That's it's a gift and a curse. Yeah. But yeah, like I sometimes I wish that I could just say, okay, this is a nice person. They treat me nice. I guess I should just go with it.
Yeah, I basically follow your heart.
Yeah. And like, yeah, just like not even consider it. Just like, oh, this person makes me feel nice, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it must be like, but I'm always asking the questions. I'm always like, it has to be both cognitive and the emotions. Like, the emotions are weird for me because like, there has to be both a cognitive understanding of a love that I have for someone and both an emotional connection. And the emotional part I don't quite get because I can feel the emotion and then it's like, well, is this actually what I'm feeling? Is this actually a feeling of love? Is this just a trick that my mind is playing on me? Type of thing. Like, yeah, that's kind of how I am. But the very, very rare moments when I actually understand that like there's a desire for me to want to do something more for a person because of how they make me feel just in general is like, I know it's so confusing, but it's hard. It's really, really hard because it's so rare for someone like me. It's so rare. So I'm just curious as to like how you process like the ideas and the feelings of love. And you said you're an empath, so like if someone is just saying very, very nice things to you, are you gonna be inclined to fall in love with them, type of thing? Or like that's what I'm like, I think I want to challenge you with that, like, because if someone is just nice to you in general and says all the right things, is that enough, or are you looking for more? Because I'm always looking for more. I'm always looking for more. But what about you?
I mean, no, like people are nice to me all the time, but like,
I mean, that's for good reason.
I'm not falling in love with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But no, because I feed off of the emotions, or like I can read the emotion of what someone is saying. In a sense, I guess that's what gets me. Like so it's more so like how they talk to me and how they say certain things, I guess, and the emotion behind it. Like, because you can come up to someone and say, hey, you're great, I love how you are, blah blah blah, and be really nice to them, but then you have the friendly, and then you have the more adoring, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, so what if someone, such as myself, who is, I am who I am. So if I'm just like flirting with you, like, is it like, cause like, would you say that I'm good at flirting?
Yes.
Okay.
But,
so
like, for me, you're kind of hard to read sometimes.
How so?
I'm not sure. Like, there's just something different. Like, it's hard to read sometimes, but you are good at flirting, yes.
Okay, cool. So you said like there's like the friendly version, and then like there's like the I guess you said the romantic version. You said friendly and romantic, or was it another word? Okay.
Adoring.
Adoring.
I guess, or adoring. Like like I can see the difference between someone just being friendly and someone who is emotionally attracted, I guess. Without them actually saying it.
Okay.
For the most part. I mean, some people are, like you, for example, are hard to read sometimes. So.
It's because I'm so logical, that's why. It's like I'm like
Probably.
Everything is like a calculated it's like I know what I'm gonna say, no, I'm actually really I don't calculate everything that I say, of course not. Like now I would sound like a robot if that were the case. But like, let's just say I don't know why it would be hard to read. It's because you know what it probably is. It's the fact that I know when I'm actively flirting. I also know when I'm actively flirting with someone that I probably shouldn't be actively flirting with, but I'm gonna do it anyway. But I want to do so respectfully.
Yeah.
So there's always like that extra kind of layer of like respect that I'm like kind of weaving into the flirtation, because like I don't want to like give away too much, but I also don't want to like give the wrong impressions. Like I want to be nice and understanding, but I also want to be like, yo, how's it going? So
that probably is it. Like you kind of like put it like you're masking it in a sense, but like not really.
Yeah.
Like you're. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I guess it's more so like I'm very realistic. So like I can be like, Khal, you are adorable and also a lovely lady, inside and out. And I think that's a friendly compliment. But like it's like I also know that like, yeah, Khal's not gonna like suddenly like want to like fall for me or whatever. So it's like this weird kind of like, I know what I can say to like, because I want to, if I'm going to flirt with you, like the idea of flirting is to get, a reaction. So I want to get a little bit of a reaction out of you, because like that's the hope, fingers crossed. But then it's like an understanding of like, well, Khal's also not going to feel that way about me anyway. So even if I were serious, like completely serious, then, wouldn't make a difference. So it's like, I'm always respectfully flirting, I guess you could say.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
But I do think you're a very, very good girl, though.
I am a very good girl.
You are. You do a lot. You work very hard.
One of my flaws is, though.
What?
Is that I worry and I try to help people more than I worry and help myself. And I need to work on that.
And that's why you should be hanging around me more. I'm a selfish bitch.
you teach me the selfish ways.
Oh yeah. Because I used to be like you, Khal. There was a point in time where I was calling myself an empath. And I probably still am, but I'm so on the Machiavellian. I'm so far off on the fucking dark triad now in my life that like I'm probably still am an empath, but I'm also just like I know how to manipulate people, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person because I don't like doing that, but I know how to. So it's like a mixture of like, like I want to, like, obviously I want to take care of my friends, and I'm definitely like here to take care of you and all of the other people who I genuinely do care about. But it's like I'm an empath, but I'm a selfish empath. So I'm in touch with my emotions, for sure. Many people don't think that I am, but I'm very in touch with my emotions. And, you know, I do feel more than I let on.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess different things happening within your life, like, you know, kind of like took you down like a different path of realizing, you know, like, yes, I'm an empath, but I need to be more selfish, versus in my life, like, I haven't gotten to that part, I guess. Like, I'm still the healer, I guess, because I get that a lot. Like I get people that come up to me and will tell me their life story, and I have no idea who they are. You know, and I just
people do that to me too. Like, people do that to me too.
I'm just like, oh,
yeah.
I don't know you though. Like, it's like this vibe that you give off that's just like, I can tell this person anything.
Yeah.
Because I feel safe with them, even though I don't know them. I guess.
Yeah. It's like you're the full on positive side empath, and I'm like the dark side of the empath. Because like people come to me with their problems too, because like they feel like they can trust me, and like of course I don't betray their trust, but it's also like yes, more knowledge, more data, thank you. Yeah, so it's no, it's weird. It's weird, but it's kind of how I am, and I always have to keep myself in check. But yeah, it's like you're like the purest of it, and I'm like the you know, the impure. But we all know, you know, I don't have this star hanging from my arm for no reason. Fucking pentagram shit. Yeah, so
we're like yin and yang.
Exactly. And that's why we do so well together. I think so.
I would agree.
Yay. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear that. Oh gosh, there was a question I wanted to ask you. There was another question I wanted to ask you with regards to, yes. This may be the last topic that we talk about tonight, but I think it'll be the most interesting one depending on where it goes. Khaleasi, you are a fan of both sides, yes?
Yes.
Are you okay talking about it?
Yes.
Okay. So, what do you like? I mean, I guess actually no. We'll start at the beginning. How did you realize that you were bisexual? At what point? Yeah. Details, of course, details.
I don't. I think it's kind of like, mine wasn't like, oh, I like women over men or anything. It was just kind of like a more of an experimental thing, I guess, because like it was like my roommate and a guy.
Okay.
That I did it with, you know, so it was people I knew, obviously, but
yeah, you're comfortable with them.
Kind of like, yeah. But yeah, it just after that, it just seemed more like natural for, I guess, both male and female, I guess. I guess I should also put in that growing up, it was very strange for me because my parents were swingers.
Oh.
So I was kind of like,
see, I didn't know that.
I
I didn't know that about you. Holy shit. Like, what?
Oh, man.
That's cool.
I have a funny story about that. I don't know if you want to hear it. But
I want to hear it. I want to hear the story. Yeah.
So I was around the age like 18, 19, where, you know, you're starting to like really want to find somebody and whatever. So like I was rooting around on the internet looking for like dating websites and stuff. I came across this website called Adult Friend Finder, not really realizing what type of friends were provided on this website.
Yeah.
I was looking through pictures and I came across a picture of my mom and I was like, and she wasn't clothed.
Wow.
I was like, so one day I kind of kept it to myself for a little bit and I immediately removed myself from that website because that's what I realized that site was for.
Yeah.
But my mom said something and I was like, could you please explain to me why there's a naked picture of you on a website? And my mom just stood there and looked at me and she was just like, what website are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. It's called Adult Friend Finder. And then when she explained it to me. But like growing up, when I was younger, like I knew something was different because we would go over to people's houses and the adults would go into one room and the kids would be like on the completely opposite side of the house.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't at that time know what it was, but then when I found the profile and she told me, then when it all clicked that like, oh, that's what was going on when I was younger. You know.
Wow.
So, but yeah.
That is interesting. So like they were just free flowing. So your mom and your dad were like free flowing like that. Interesting. And it was just like that was just like what they did. That was like their hobby, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting. Did that change your relationship with them at all, or did it make you closer or further apart, or anything like that?
It didn't really change anything. I mean, I was a little more open with my mom. I was a daddy's girl, so I couldn't really talk to my dad about stuff like that.
Oh,
But...
okay. I see.
But yeah, I could be a little more open with my mom about stuff like that.
That's fair.
But yeah, so when I had my experience, you know, with my roommate and her friend, male friend, you know, it seemed natural, I guess, to me.
Okay, I see. But you didn't know until after that experience.
Yeah. Like I didn't realize like until that I had those like actual feelings. It was something probably that I maybe thought about, but like never really placed it in like a logical thought, I guess. Like, does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I look at a female and be like, wow, she's really pretty, you know, she's pretty hot or whatever, but like I never associated that thought with feelings at first.
Gotcha. I'm assuming it was good enough for that to happen.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it would. I mean, if it was bad and it happened, then I'm like, I mean, then it's even more real. That way.
Yeah.
So you said you don't have a particular preference. You're like you're just kind of default. Like you just kind of realized you're like in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
And there's no like particular preference.
I've never dated a female. I've been with women, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've never dated. Like I've always, of course, my current relationship is 13 years, right? So
yeah, that just put a damper on the whole experimentation.
Explain.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I have an attraction towards both. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that like if this, you know, if I were not in this relationship, then I probably would, you know, experiment more with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah.
I've just never been in a relationship with a woman.
Gotcha. I mean, is that something that you're like? Well, I mean, we just said that's something that you'd be curious to try, right?
Yeah, I'd be open to it.
Mm-hmm. And well, I mean, we all know that men and women are different. Like, let's just, you know, let's be real. You know, men and women are different, both, you know, emotionally and physically. So, like, I mean, you've said you've been with women, and obviously you've been with men. So, is there anything about one or the other that you find particularly like more attractive than the other, or like more desirable? And it doesn't have to be just physical. It could be like emotional, psychological. Obviously everyone is different. So like every person is different regardless of whether being, you know, a man or a woman. So, but like just kind of like overarching basic things, like women tend to be more emotional, women tend to like to talk more. Women tend to like being around people. Men tend to, you know, enjoy building things. Like those are like very basic things I think we can all agree are like very kind of generally common things.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I'm trying to qualify everything that I'm saying because this is going on the internet. But like but basically like we all know that there are some basic ideas that the majority of men and women share. So, are there any particular bits of those facets that you find more interesting or desirable between the two?
I mean, emotionally, I think women understand more. Of course, men aren't on the same emotional level.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess communication-wise as well, women are better at that than men are. I guess it's more of an emotional like thing that I get, like in bed. Women know what women like, so I mean, men don't really know. Like, so you have to tell a guy.
Well, I mean,
to do something that you like. You know.
True. But I think like there's even like I think sometimes you even have to tell like women what they like, because like women could be like be into different things, like different kinks and stuff.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That makes sense. But I mean, as far as like knowing how to be gentle or how rough to be too,
mm-hmm.
I think they understand a little bit better than men do.
Yeah, that is yeah. I would agree with that. I would agree. So I mean, you're in a relationship with the, well, can I say it, or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in a relationship with a male. So like, you've been with him for 13 years. So clearly, there's something about guys that you like. I mean, there would, there would kind of have to be. I mean, like, it's. and I
Are we
mean,
talking physically or?
I don't know. I don't. You tell me. You've been in a relationship. I haven't been in a relationship with anyone for like more than like a year and a half. Well, actually, no. That's a lie. I've been in a relationship for approximately like 2 years, and yeah, that was like the longest, kind of. But yeah, 13 years is a long time. So like, it's like,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to say like make it sound terrible, but like I guess I got comfortable, I guess, and got that like a secure feeling at one point where I just didn't feel like I needed like to end it. So I mean, like, so it was like the years just keep going, and you don't really. I didn't really pay attention to like like I knew how many years we've been together, but I mean it's just like I mean I do enjoy the penis too, so you know.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I've told you my major kink or what my major fantasy was, but I
I remember.
so
I won't be saying it, but I remember. Yeah. So like, I mean, I guess in terms of just generalities, so would you say it was less about the idea of just being with a guy and more so simply just the situation of feeling comfortable that you were attracted to more, not so much like his strength or his like ability to stay calm when things get like emotional, like his ability to like to comfort you and like be your rock type of thing, like, you know, just again typical guy things. It wasn't like those things,
right.
So
yeah. I guess I know you love him. I love him, but like it's the comfort, the security, I guess, the stability.
Yeah, which, you know,
I have also been married and divorced, you know, so like
yeah, going through that is not a picnic for sure. So
no, it's not.
yeah, I can I can imagine that like after going through something like that, you seeking that just sense of stability of like someone who's just going to like not, you know, fuck it up.
Right. I've also though sworn off marriage ever again. Like I don't see the point of it, to be honest, because like it's a piece of paper, right?
Yeah, it's a piece of paper that gives you two power over various aspects of each other's lives. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's not. I don't think that it's necessary, honestly. After going through what I went through, because when I got divorced, I lost all of my personal belongings, like everything.
Yeah. Because
I didn't have the means to bring them back with me. So.
Yeah, that really is kind of the kind of underhanded thing about it, because if like you do get married and then things go south and it's not an amicable separation, the other person can try to like manipulate, or to just, they may have more capital or means than you do, and they can just take. So it can get really, really messy from my understanding, given that my parents did divorce. So, you know, I haven't been through the process, but I've been a part of it to some degree. So, but, you know, I still think that there's something kind of, I don't know, I guess in this day and age, like, marriage is more so the idea of making a public statement, I suppose.
Yeah.
And, you know, just declaring that this is my special person type thing.
Yeah.
But I guess you can kind of do that without getting married. Like, you don't have a ring or anything, right?
No, I've asked for one. But
really?
Yeah.
So what would that represent to you then? if he were to give you one?
Just commitment.
Mm-hmm. So that symbolism is still like important to you, not so much the piece of paper.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't expect like a $1,000 ring or whatever like that. Just something that symbolizes the commitment.
Right, and that like you can basically kind of like be like, yo, don't. I mean, it's the left hand, but yeah, like, so like, I'm taken.
You know what though? Having a ring does not. Guys still, even if you have a ring, they're just like, yeah, well, that's just an obstacle. Yeah, some guys are just like, they don't care.
You know, the funny thing is, like, I sometimes think that way. I'm like, oh, you're in a relationship with someone? Well, you haven't talked to me yet. But but like, it's always very respectful. Like, even if I do have that thought, it's always.
I think that's the succubus in you.
True.
That's the succubus in you.
Yup. Yeah. It's, I want it all. I want it all, but also, not only do I want it all, but I want it all from one person, which is like, I want to have my cake and eat it too type of thing. Like, so, being a succubus, is, again, it's nice. It's, it can be fun. It can be fun sometimes, but it's also like, I don't know. It's also like, I have to like I want to be that person that's like, cause like, I want to be friends with someone first. like there's no point in seducing someone and making them yours if you can't even have a friendship with them. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Oh, right. The point would be to get them in bed with you and then not to tell anybody about it. That would be the point. But I'm also just, but I'm also at a point in my life where I just don't care about like frivolous sex. They're just like easy sex, like that's the thing. Like, yeah, it's the succubus in me, and like I could get sex so easily. Good. But I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, because like I'm strange. I'm oddly traditional. I'm not as traditional as I used to be, but I'm like kind of traditional in that I like the idea of having someone be mine, someone who I've, courted, someone who may have been in a relationship with someone. And, maybe, little by little, they come around type of thing. But, like, I've tried that before, believe it or not. It's kind of hard. It's kind of easy to believe that I would try to convince a guy or someone to, like, hey, I'm much better than the person you're dating. It's like, I've definitely tried that before, and I failed. Believe it or not, that's the kicker. I failed. So I don't know, like that's the kind of thing that's kind of like shitty, because like sex is only fun when you're with someone that you like someone that you like want to be with. It's not just like, oh, this person is hot, this person is cute or whatever. Like it's got to be more than like there's no thrill if there's no passion.
Exactly.
Like so you would agree with the idea of like sex is only enjoyable with someone that you like have like an undying affection for. Otherwise, just like, the random person that you're going to sleep with.
Just sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find sex fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, I do too. But do you find sex fun with randoms?
I like trying different things. Oh, with randoms? Not like if I don't know them.
I mean, that's
like,
what makes them
emotionally,
random.
like,
You wouldn't know them because they're random.
Yeah.
So,
No.
so that's a no. Yeah.
Honestly, I've never really, maybe a few times, but I've never really had sex with many people that I didn't have a physical, like a emotional attachment or something to. Like, I never really had any like one night stands.
Same. I haven't either. But yeah, I was curious to just find out because like, yeah, I'm glad that you agree with the idea of like sex being more thrilling and just satisfying with someone who you know is absolutely like and utterly in love with you. Like knowing that person is in love with me is just like, oh yeah, this is it's always gonna be good. At least I think that, but I don't, believe it or not, I don't know. I've lived quite a long time and I'm a succubus, yes, at times, and like I have that tendency and weaved into my DNA, but I have not really had like really, really hot sex at all. I know that's hard to believe, but you know, it's true. I haven't. This is where you laugh.
I'm trying to think if I've ever really had like super hot sex. I mean, in the beginning of my relationship, probably. Like, it's been so long, but it was like every night. But
how is your sex drive?
Mine is high.
Oh.
Like super high. I took one of those tests online. I don't remember what it was called. But it told me I was a hypersexual sub.
Well, I'm thinking you and I have to spend more time together. That's what I'm thinking. But that's interesting because like you don't give off that vibe at all, which is really, really amusing. It's so amusing that like you're like, my sex drive is high, tee-hee. Like, but I mean, it's always the nice girls.
I mean, I was gonna say it's always the quiet, nice ones that like
got that vroom vroom going. That shit's kicking.
I'm very experimental,
which is always
like,
very
bedroom,
cool.
so.
Yeah, that's great. That's like fantastic. You know, I can't see there are no downsides to being experimental. Literally none.
And again, you know my fantasy, so.
But your fantasy is also mine.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is that is one of the few things that like that very, very easily get me going. And like my sex drive is in the fucking shitter. Believe like it doesn't like I keep saying, oh, believe it or not, but yeah, my sex drive is like it's like all the way down. So it takes a lot to kind of get me going, is what I'm trying to say. Like it has to be like it has to be very, very specific, and it has to be very deliberate.
Right.
And that particular fantasy does the job in most cases. But, you know. Yeah, I already know I'm going to be like very, very, I'm going to be very, very difficult. I'm going to be a very, very difficult partner if I ever end up with anybody, because I don't even know if I'll even end up with anybody, you know? Yeah, I'm very, very, I'm just like, I'm so, the kind of person I am is so fucking out there that like, I just, like, you know, I have my doubts. I have my doubts. That like I'll ever find anyone who'll be able to put up with my shit.
Somebody.
You think I'll find somebody? Really?
I think you will. Yeah.
That would be nice. That actually would be really nice. But, you know, I've lived so long without sex and having a partner that like it's almost like second nature to me to like, you know, just like I've literally trained myself to not think about sex. You're like, wow.
I can understand that.
It's like, wow, like, how do you do that?
No, I can understand that, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I think life gets a lot easier when you're not, like, always pining for that fulfillment.
Yeah.
But, you know, it would be really nice to have access to it. With someone that you truly do like and love. And who loves you back.
Yeah.
That would be the ideal type of accessibility to sex. Personally speaking.
There's gonna be a lot of questions after people watch this, you know, like, what is this fantasy these two have?
I know. It's but you know that will always be our secret. I will never tell because it's also mine. So I will never tell. So, but yeah, you know, I want people to ask questions. I want people to be curious, just to kind of get to know not only you, but well, mostly you. But you know, there's always like I throw in a little bit of I throw in some ad libs about myself too as we're talking about you. And you know that's the kind of conversations that I like to have on the podcast for sure. So,
yeah,
I have one last question for you, Khal. Is there anything that you are dealing with that you'd like to talk to me about, or get any advice about, or just kind of something you have a question about or concern, something like, how can I help? Is there a way that I can help you? I guess that's kind of a simple way to put it. Like, at this moment, preferably.
No, not at this moment. I mean, you know my stuff that I don't want to talk about, right? So
yes,
but nothing like at this moment, honestly.
Okay. So there's nothing that I can do to you know, repay you for spending time with me on my podcast. Oh, okay. Okay, yep. Done and done. And it's very nice to feel.
So weird.
It's nice to feel the warmth on my hand too. And like your ears are like flopping around too, all cute and stuff. Thank you very much, Khal.
I love head pats. Thank you.
I know you do.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you and chat with you and catch up. Like, I actually learned something about you tonight, which is I was hoping that I would, but you know, I'm glad that it actually happened. So that's really, really cool. But yeah. So tell people where they can find you on the interwebs.
On the interwebs, the main place you can find me is on Twitch, and it's Khaleasi. I'm sure you're going to type it out.
Yes, I will type it out.
It's not the traditional spelling of Khaleesi.
Yeah, it's Khaleasi.
I'm also on TikTok. It's Khaleesi_TTV, Twitch TV. And then Twitter too. Khaleesi on Twitter.
Nice. And I'll be happy to link all of those. All of those contacts will be in the description below. So just check that out if you want to hang out with Khaleesi, watch her streams, connect with her on Twitter, watch her TikToks. Yeah, she's doing some great content. She's probably really close to, I think, 1,000 followers already.
Last time I looked, I was 985.
Okay. So she's very, very close to 1,000 followers. So maybe you guys can give her a hand with that. That'd be really, really awesome. If she's not already there, but if she's already there, still follow her anyway. Because like you're already there, so you should just follow her anyway. But yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
But what were you gonna say?
Come by the stream and throw stuff at me.
Oh. Absolutely.
Come to the stream and throw stuff at me.
Yeah, and are there any other last words you'd like to share with the people, aside from have them to throw things at you on the stream?
No, just come say hi. I love chatting with people on stream, so don't ever be afraid to come say hi to me.
Fantastic. I definitely do like that. And like I said, Khal is a wonderful, wonderful lady. She is, she's very, very pleasant to be around. A lovely, lovely individual, a lovely cat girl, VTuber, and just a lovely lady in general. So you should definitely give her your support. I would definitely appreciate that. And, of course, you can find me if you're interested in, the yang part of the yin over here. You can find me over at, why do I keep wanting to say Tumblr? There's so many social media places that start with T. That's what that is. That's so weird. I've used Tumblr in forever. Yeah, I got issues. But yeah, you can come find me on Twitter at VR Neferty, VR, I think virtual reality Neferty. That's all one word. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/VRC Neferty. I stream on Thursdays and the occasional Tuesdays when I don't have a podcast. And I do have a YouTube also. Well, obviously, if you're watching this, you're watching it on YouTube. So, yeah, I mean, just in case you don't know where you are right now, my YouTube is Neferty. So, definitely please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this podcast. I would really, really appreciate the help. It would really does help the channel, and your support is always appreciated. So, yeah, if you enjoyed this podcast, please let me know in the comments below. Please let us know what you're curious about. Like, ask us any questions in the comments. I'll be sure to relay them to Khal. And, maybe we can get a conversation started, rather. So, yeah, don't be too shy. And I look forward to hearing from you if you all decide to leave me a comment or just a like. Or just, sub to the channel for more updates, because I'm going to be creating more content for you guys along with this podcast. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the podcast. And I will look forward to seeing you on the next one. So until next time, I hope you all take care. Thank you so much for spending time with us. And we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.